to the second decade in the 21st century. Here on Earth, mankind has forged its greatest desires into a way of life. This society has been deemed the utopia of Earth. And now, let's meet the architect of the most advanced era of the planet, Mr. Adam Carmichael, who has built this world in his own image, in his own likeness, without any thought, any recognition, or any acknowledgement of Creator God, Elohim. And the fact of the matter remains, unless the Lord builds the house, its builders labor in vain. In every era of mankind's history, God always has his remnant in place to carry out his divine will. This society is no different. In fact, this society needs God's presence more than any other because of what is to come. So one was sent, Abda, the servant hand of God. He was sent to help guide humanity through the upcoming darkness. He was sent to work in the underground church, Houses of Christ, sent to be God's beacon for a lost and deceived society. Reese Christensen came to Houses of Christ, the underground church, after his short-lived Air Force career. He came looking for answers, looking for reasons why he can do the amazing things that he can. What he found? A relationship with the true and living God, and his true purpose in this life, being one of the called ones, Barak, Lightning and Thunderbolt. One of the twins in the underground church, Houses of Christ, is Michael Kingsley, who joined after leaving the Marine Corps and running a multi-million-dollar empire with his brother. But Michael was still empty inside. As his body goes through a life-changing metamorphosis, he learns how to hear from God. He learns how to let those empty spaces be filled with the love of God. He is also adjusting to the new hymn, Sosthenes of Sound Strength. Attorney Renee DeVoe staggered into the Houses of Christ, the underground church, after arguing her most bizarre case in her intense legal career. As if losing her first case wasn't bad enough, the loss nearly destroyed her in the process. She found strength and the peace that far surpasses human understanding through her personal relationship with Jesus that was cultivated at Houses of Christ. At the same time, she is uncovering her unique physical giftings as Melatia, whom Jehovah freed. The other twin at Houses of Christ, the underground church, is Marvin Kingsley, who alongside his brother parlayed their engineering talents into a very successful business. But he was also empty, deep inside of his soul. He longed for something eternal. Marvin's involvement with the underground church gave him the foundation he needed to connect and to be filled with the love of Christ. He also found out how to tap into and develop his special gifting that allowed him to become Methuselah, struck by God. A scientist? Being an integral part of the underground church, Houses of Christ? That's precisely what Dr. Suri West is. One of the top biogenetic minds in the world today, she realized how much she needs the Lord in her life, especially since her curious illness has shown new symptoms. Purpose is what she seeks, and she found it, and so much more, through Jesus. Her illness, which was diagnosed as fatal, in truth was the first step in her being transformed into Gadel, fortune sent from God. Every group needs the right kind of leadership, and in these hard and dangerous times, Kala Williamson is just the right fit for this fledgling group of believers in the underground church, Houses of Christ. Being raised in the harshness of Chicago, he is more than ready to assume the mantle of leadership placed on him by the living God. Kala, through the power of God, has been regenerated into Jachin, one who turns. He has been regened to lead this group of modern-day warriors for Christ against the coming darkness. This is the face of leadership. With his team by his side, Jachin leads this group of supernaturally powered heroes into the battle of their lives against the enemies of God as the last disciples, the ones who stand in the gap for humanity, the ones who bring the thunder of God's word to the masses, the ones who make the enemies of Jehovah God tremble in fear. If you need protection from the agents of darkness, if you need to be led down the path of salvation, just call on them and they will be there, for they are the last disciples. is more